Singing spears, plasma rifles, and solar weapons. That phrase perfectly blends mythic image with cutting-edge and dangerous tech. The reality is a mixture of science and engineering plus geopolitics, ethics, and law. So let's get clear on what this concept means and what's behind the buzzwords. Real science behind the concepts. What's plausible today? What's real? What are the signatures or forensics of such a weapon? What are the legal and ethical problems? And what would be safe, creative, or policy directions? The phrase evokes two things: singing and spears. Singing implies an audible or M signature. Resonance, the weapon singing as it fires, perhaps a plasma hum or an RF tone. Spears implies a directed penetrating projectile or beam, something landslide. Range and precise, together. These notions imply directed energy weapons that use plasma or concentrated sunlight, and their derivatives to cut, burn, or disrupt at a distance, often imagined as sci-fi rifles or orbital solar concentrators. Realistically, this concept blends elements of directed energy weapons, plasma science, and astroengineering. Directed energy broadly covers lasers, high-power microwaves, particle beams, and plasma jets. All these transfer energy to a target at the speed of light or near light, causing heating, ablative removal, or electronic disruption. Solar concentration uses mirrors or lenses to collect sunlight, producing extremely high temperatures. Space-based mirrors or solar concentrators could in principle produce intense heating on a target area, but that requires astronomical scale to produce destructive effects at range. So what's more plausible today? Handheld plasma apparati or speculative? But people imagine plasma rifles producing and directing a coherent plasma jet. The physics is challenging, because plasma diffuses quickly in the atmosphere, needs magnetic nozzle confinement, and huge power density. Currently, there are no handheld plasma rifles, but industrial systems exist for cutting and welding using hot, directed plasma. Those systems aren't portable, though. Compact high-energy lasers and microwave systems are under development for point defense against drones and missiles. These are directed energy weapons, not plasma spears, but they produce similar effects through heating and electronics disruption. On the larger scale, orbital solar weapons are more conceptual than anything else. Large space mirrors or laser arrays concentrating sunlight or converting it to a beam are proposed. Engineering such systems poses immense demands for massive infrastructure, precision tracking, and enormous energy and thermal management. In addition to the engineering challenges, there are significant legal and logistical barriers. Let's talk about the real science. Today, industrial plasma cutters and arc welders are tools that use plasma for cutting and joining metals. High-energy lasers for point defense are operational prototypes in the Air Force and Navy programs. They can disable drones and missiles at short ranges. High-power microwaves have been tested to disrupt electronics and disable vehicles. Solar concentration is used for energy production in solar towers, and small experiments on planetary heating. But weaponization remains mostly theoretical and politically fraught. Why are true plasma rifles hard? To keep this brief, we'll just cover some of the physics, containment, and coherence. Atmospheric plasma disperses fast, and keeping it coherent over meters requires magnetic confinement and constant energy input. Power density. Generating and sustaining plasma that damages targets at distance requires power on the order of small reactors or massive capacitor banks, not portable batteries. Cooling and back effects. The device and operator need shielding from heat, EM, and reactive byproducts. That's conceptual context, not an instruction set. What would the signatures look like if such weapons were used or tested? Any number of things. If you can't shoot a sustained plasma like a projectile, then generating the plasma produces a unique electromagnetic noise. Broadband AM to FM radio band or harmonic tones, or specific microwave signatures recorded by RF sensors. There may also be acoustic anomalies, the sing of plasma jets or arc discharge, ultrasonic to audible bands. There would be thermal patterns, too. Rapid localized heating with specific spectral profiles and infrared signatures. Look for vitrified surfaces, unusual oxidation, or ceramic and metal ablation marks not consistent with chemical explosives. And there would be electronic failure traces. Simultaneous hard and soft failures in electronics characteristic of high-power microwave exposure. These signatures can help monitor for such weapons and investigations. But the major issues are the ethical, legal, and geopolitical angles. Weaponizing space and solar assets would likely violate treaties and provoke destabilizing arms races. Directed energy and high power (MPE) raise concerns about indiscriminate harm to electronic infrastructure and civilian casualties, and long-term environmental impacts. Finally, accessibility and escalation. Even prototypes encourage proliferation and asymmetric threats. There are no good policy directions for such weapons, but there are less bad ones. Proactive international norms, export controls, and verification regimes are essential before such technologies mature. We won't get there through wishful thinking or burying our heads in the sand. We need realism about the capabilities and risks to make sound policy and investment decisions. The science and engineering are tractable. The political and ethical challenges are not. Hope this helped. If you would like to see more, please like and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.